Good morning, and another day, another vlog. Today is looking more gloomy than yesterday. It's actually raining, and today's plan is to go to the gym, and then for lunch I'm gonna meet up with Kev in Quarry Bay. We used to train BJJ together back in 2015, and yeah, we've been in touch ever since, although I've stopped doing BJJ and he's still doing it. I really miss doing BJJ, to be honest, but I decided in 2019 that I was going to stop, and I don't regret it, honestly. It's yeah, I'll get more into that later, but BJJ is amazing. If you're thinking about trying it, do it. But yeah, I just wasn't able to balance freelancing, working, you know, really putting in the effort that I needed to into my career and do BJJ. It essentially just devoured my life. I lived like 1 hour away from where we're training, and it took me 2 hours just in transport right there. And then I was training with competitors. I was training with people who weren't really working. BJJ was all they were doing, and yeah, it was like between 4 or 5 hour time commitment, like 5 times a week. Then you're full-time training. But the thing is, I wasn't competing at all. Like, all the other guys were competing, but I don't know, I've never competed. I competed once, but I never really cared about winning that much. I just really loved the process of just getting better, just being physical, you know, the camaraderie with the guys. It's a beautiful sport. And unfortunately, I have some lower back problems at the moment, and I have had for the past year. So I highly doubt that I'll ever get back into it. And besides, I need to be in charge of my own schedule. Sometimes I need to train like early, sometimes I need to train late, sometimes I have half an hour, sometimes I have like an hour and a half or 2 hours. So it needs to be like really modular the way I train. So like having classes that are set according to a schedule doesn't really work for me, because work needs to take priority. If I have a project, if I have an assignment, I'm gonna be doing that. I'm not gonna be training. Or ideally, I can flex the training around, like I said earlier. All right, let me grab my coffee and go to training. So I'm back in Sai Kung. I just met up with Kev for lunch, 2-hour lunch. Got back, had a conversation with my mom over phone, talked to Helga over the phone, and now it's almost 5 p.m. I managed to train this morning, but now I need to prepare for a shoot tomorrow. Tomorrow morning I have a shoot at the 3 Thai studio, and then I have a shoot at an apartment where we need to shoot both photos and videos of a product. So I need to go and do a little bit of research online to see for where the video is intended to be used. It's kind of an explainer on a product. I need to look at how these types of products, or just in general, so the video kind of fits into the look, or at least the duration, like how long the video is. It needs to fit what the circumstances or environment where it's meant to be used. So I need to do a little bit of research. What email was that? A YouTube comment from Charlotte. They have so Charlotte is a really good friend. Charlotte and Jaden, they got married in late 2023, and they had an amazing video camera on the wedding. They had an 8mm. I'll share a link, or I'll find the model type and share it on screen. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it was so much fun to use, and I think it's good. Like, if you like the DV video that I did with the Sony, you're gonna love the content from this type of camera. I was just asking her in the comments, have you guys, because he was commenting on the DV camera, have you guys developed the footage from the wedding yet? And they haven't. So no pressure, Charlotte. You just do it at your own time. I'm just very excited to see what it looks like when you get to it. No pressure. This is the fun thing about doing video in 2024. It's I think, like what has been in photography well established for a really, really long time, the kind of nostalgic comeback of the film. There's so much character, there's so much, I don't know, like the older lenses, the different film stock, the expired film. There's so many variables, and it's so fun to play with. I think the same thing is happening a little bit in the video world. I personally got a couple of Russian lenses that I've been meaning to use for the right project, but here in Hong Kong everything is about speed, so these lenses are obviously manual focus, so I haven't been able to use them in any professional projects, and maybe I should do a little bit of video on that. Maybe not tomorrow because I'm working tomorrow, but one of the vlogs I definitely need to show you guys this Russian lens. It's called the Helios 44-2, or just Helios 44, because I got two of them. Let me show you. So this is the Helios M42, and this one is really, really cool. It's been modified. It's a cine mod. So what that means is, I'm not sure if you can see this. It has been modified. I don't know if you can see it in the lens, but there's like an oval shape to the aperture in it. Usually all of these lenses that we use traditionally are spherical, meaning that the aperture is fully circular. So when you see the bokeh balls, when you see something blurry in the background and it's circular, this one is going to make, the shapes are going to be like oval shaped. So this is emulating the anamorphic lenses that are used in movies. So long story short, this lens has been cine modified, so it has this kind of oval shape to the bokeh, but there's also a string right through the middle of it. And this is to create a flare, a very, very specific kind of streaky looking flare that goes through the image. And that's also one of the characteristics of an anamorphic lens. So this is the modified, cine modified 44 Helios. And I do have another one that is just straight up. This one is called 44M. And this one has no modifications to it. It's just straight up classic, just old school Russian 1960s, 1970s. So one of these days, I definitely am gonna use them and show you what kind of look these can make. But anyway, I had a really, really good conversation with Kev today. I met Kev when we were doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu back in 2015, And like after about a year at the FFG gym where we met, there were some changes made, and long story short, the conditions got a little bit worse. We were training on mats that people were walking through on their shoes. Like the mats were sometimes sandy, and it was just like there's so much foot traffic, there's so little space to roll, that I even though I had like a 3-year membership or something, I just straight up left. I had an opportunity to train with people or a group of people that were just doing it full-time, jiu-jitsu, and they were just training all over the place. So we kind of parted ways in 2016, me and Kev, at least in BJJ, and I'm really happy that we still kept in touch outside of jiu-jitsu. And I did their wedding photos, pre-wedding photos, and their actual wedding photos. They came to Iceland. Kev and Sharon are really, really quality, great people. Like I can't explain enough how important it is to hold on to those people that you really have a bond with. That people that are on the same wavelength. They, like, all of us know how important it is to have friends and take care of them. And I'm just very, very happy. Sometimes you just lose touch, and for whatever reason you move cities or countries, or you know, there's an 8-hour time difference between Iceland and here. It's difficult to stay in touch, to be completely honest. That's the dark side of being from Northern Europe and living here in this time zone in Hong Kong. It is definitely a challenge to maintain relationships, but fortunately I have really, really strong friendships, and sometimes in particular I have a friend, Thormod. We sometimes call him Mo Digital because he's not the greatest when it comes to messages and stuff like that. So every time we meet, even it's been like a year since we last met, it's like no time has passed at all. Like we pick up right where we left. And I really feel like me and Kev have a similar connection. It didn't matter that we hadn't met up or chatted for a bit. We just picked up right where we left off. Okay, one observation, I think I'm gonna cut it here because like I need to do some work, and I'm just sitting here by the computer, and I'm not gonna do another time lapse of me doing that. I'm just gonna end the vlog with saying, take care of the people that are important to you in your life. Maintain those relationships at whatever cost that is. It's so important. Editing these vlogs, I've noticed that I tend to ramble on way too long, and I just go on a tangent, and I just waffle and waffle and waffle, and I'm doing it right now. So I'm gonna try to be a little bit more clear and concise from now on. But another thing that I also thought I was going to be able to overcome is that I can't stop and talk to the camera in public. I just can't seem to bring myself to do that. I don't really care too much what other people think about me, but I just can't bring myself to do it. So every time I'm going to be talking to the camera, it's probably going to be at home or somewhere where there aren't many people around. And that is difficult to find in Hong Kong. In most places there are people all over the place. So you're going to have to get used to me talking here in the apartment, because I'm probably going to be doing that. Okay, maybe I can improve that, but most likely I'm going to keep waffling and talk for way too long about boring stuff. And I'm also probably going to be talking mostly here at home. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the content. Take care, guys, and have a good day. Thanks a lot for this one, Charlotte. It's probably going to be one of the best margaritas I've made in a good while. So I needed to include that in the vlog. Thank you.